Cincinnati's Carthage neighborhood is near the epicenter of the Ohio Senate's 9th District, but there's going to be new leadership in that seat this fall because Democrat incumbent Eric Kearney is term limited.
The 9th stretches from Madisonville to Westwood to Mount Healthy and Woodlawn. Two well-known politicians want the seat, Democrat Cecil Thomas and Republican Charles Winburn. Thomas is a retired Cincinnati police officer, a former city council member, and once head of the Cincinnati Human Relations Commission. I sat down with him to examine key issues in the race. What do you think the number one problem is in the district, and how do you plan to solve it?
Well, I think the number one problem is the cut in the local government fund. That transcends party lines. These are municipalities all over the state, for that matter, not just the 9th District, that are impacted by the cut in the local government funds, as well as the estate tax and some other taxes. Those cuts have resulted in massive holes in budgets, and the municipalities all over the 9th District are struggling to try to plug that hole. And the 2008 recession caused most local governments to use their rainy day funds and everything else to try to just keep the governments running. And to add to that, this huge hole that the governor created has caused serious problems. St. Bernard, Lincoln Heights, Silverton, all these municipalities are struggling.
Solutions?
Solution obviously would be to the governor has said, well, he had a $2 billion surplus. Now it's down to like $1.4 billion. I think we need to tap into that surplus and give that money back to the municipalities where it belongs, and not allow the governor to use those funds at his discretion. They actually belong to those local governments.
How will you, as the state senator, try to bring more state dollars to local governments?
Well, the easiest way, I think, is first of all to retool our workforce. You know, there are 21st century jobs that are out there, and they need workers. Right now, we have an abundance of workers that were lost their jobs during the recession. And they were only skilled in those jobs that they lost, but those jobs aren't coming back. A lot of those factories left. So we need to retool them. There are energy efficient jobs, you know, green, solar power, green collar jobs, solar energy, the water power, you know, energy type jobs. Those jobs, we need to retool our workforce to attract those type of jobs to our region. So if a business is thinking about relocating to an area where there's an abundance of workers that fit that particular category, then by all means that business will come to Ohio.
How hard will you push for job creation and job expansion in the district?
I would be pushing extremely hard for job creation in the 9th District. A lot of those jobs will be created based on small businesses, finding ways to have public-private partnerships with small businesses to incentivize those small businesses in a way that will assist them in growing their business. And in doing so, then it obviously will attract jobs to the district, and as well as the expansion of the current jobs that are here.
What services or programs have not yet been created that could help people escape poverty?
Wow. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, if you really want to look at it. I think that if you look at the health care sector, the healthcare sector tended to do well during the recession, and we're seeing an abundance of jobs in that particular area, training our workers to work in the healthcare industry. Maybe one method by which we do what you've just indicated. So there's a number of things that we could do, but I think that retooling and retraining our workforce to address the particular jobs would be the easiest way.
What do you do at the state level to make housing more affordable?
When you say make housing more affordable, the industry today, the housing industry is struggling. Now, when we say housing more affordable, are we talking about rental housing? If you're talking about that impact, that's a tough question, because now you're getting into an industry that's that has a tremendous amount of private influence, and you would have to sit down with your apartment associations that manage this process, that watches like a watchdog, your Greater Cincinnati Board of Realtors. You'd have to sit down with them in a public-private partnership to establish some methods by which we can make that happen. But to just arbitrarily start creating affordable housing, it could cause problems without some serious collaboration among all the parties involved.
What will you do to help curb crime involving youth as victims and perpetrators?
What I would do is continue to expand what I've done here in Cincinnati. The first thing I would do is make sure that we continue to build the relationship between citizens and police throughout the 9th District as well as throughout the state of Ohio. That is critically important in working together to begin to curb crime. Now, the other part of that piece would be to create, to expand on the SERVE initiative that we have here in the city of Cincinnati. SERVE has been a very successful effort in addressing those hard to employ that coming out of the criminal justice system, those that currently are in the system it's in some form or another through probation or parole or something of that nature, by working with them to make sure that they have all of the resources needed to become productive members of our society. And that's exactly what SERVE does. These individuals have life coaches, and we try to make sure that they're connected to all of what's needed to make them successful.
How much of a role will ethics play in your term as a state senator?
Well, when you say ethics, obviously, it would play a major role, as far as being an ethical person, in making the decisions based on the right thing to do. I would not compromise my ethical decisions. I've prided myself on being an individual that believe in doing what's in the best interest of all of our citizens and not just one particular segment of the population over another. And I have no intentions of being lobbied to do something based on one entity over another. My heart will be to do the right thing.
Why do you want to be a state senator in the first place?
Well, I don't think it's, promotion comes from God. And I didn't plan to be a city council member, I didn't even plan to be a police officer. I planned to just get that free college education when I was a cadet back in the 70s. So here I am now. I've done as much as I could locally. I feel very confident that I can take what I've learned, and God has promoted me to move to the next level. And this is where I'm taking my integrity and my experience.
Who's the most influential person in your life, and what did he or she do to get you where you are today?
Being from the South, Dr. Martin Luther King was my most influential individual. I really paid attention to a lot of the things he would say and what he stood for. And he stood for all people. He stood for the quality of life of all people. And he was able to galvanize the masses of all the people when he tried to do what he believes was the right thing to do. And you're only as strong as the people that will follow you. And there was a tremendous amount of folks that followed his beliefs in nonviolence, but he was very instrumental in affecting change. And that's how I am. I've always been someone very instrumental in affecting change and doing it in a way that it would benefit all people. That's why I saw what was going on in the Cincinnati Police Department in the 70s. And I said, look, African Americans and women are being discriminated against. And so we need to make changes there. And as a result, we see a huge difference in the makeup of the Cincinnati Police Department. Women and African Americans are in all the upper level positions as far as the chief's office. And we're seeing a huge difference in the racial makeup of the police department and ethnic makeup. Citizens of the 9th District, as well as the state of Ohio, hear my heart. You know, my heart has always been to do the right thing, to work for the betterment of those who don't have a voice or who feel they don't have a voice. Hope is the last thing we have in a society where they feel there is no hope. That's what I'm taking to the state Senate, is the hope for everyone who feels there is no hope, that I will bring that hope to them. I would bring it to the state Senate, and I would bring a quality of life that I believe every citizen in the 9th District, as well as in the state of Ohio, can be proud to have. Unfortunately, we have some who are struggling, and somehow, somebody has to address those issues on a holistic approach. And that's why I think that I'm the best candidate that you all can depend on, that you can believe in, and that I will do what you want me to do to fight the difficulties that you are experiencing. With that, I thank all of you, and may God bless, and may God bless America.
The 9th has 355,000 voters, and turnout's going to determine if it's going to stay Democratic or go Republican. Tom McKee, not on your side in Carthage.